Winter is here, and usually that means we have some pretty boring days on the homestead, but this morning I had a very unwelcome surprise. Ah, man, that's a huge bummer. Winter is hard for me as a homesteader. It seems like everything around me is ugly. The plants are not growing. As you can see, the grass is pretty much dead and gone. Water is constantly freezing, which makes the animal chores hard. The chickens don't lay as many eggs. There's just a lot of reasons to justifiably say that winter's not my favorite time of homesteading. But as I was driving back from the gym this morning, I was in a really good attitude, and I was thinking to myself, you know what, like let's treat winter like it's a time for planning. It's a time for rest and thinking about what we want next year to be. And I was in a really good zone, and I was ready to do a lot today. And then when I got out of my car, I saw that one of our new hens was dead. Ah, man, that's a huge bummer. Judging from the feathers, it was a fox or something. Gee whiz. So this was a hen that we got from a friend who just had some excess hens, and we bought her and this one from them. And our main flock, which is very small right now, knows the drill. When the sun goes down, they get in here, and we got this lock, and we've never lost one to a predator. She must have just not gotten the drill, and must not gotten in at night. It's another reason why winter's hard. You got these predator animals that need to work harder. That was a beautiful hen. That's really unfortunate. Sorry, girl. There's a chore I didn't know I'd need to do today, but I'm gonna have to get rid of that dead chicken. So here's our remaining chickens, except for one. Let's see what's on their menu today. Let's distract them so I can get in there. Got some avocado rinds, some pomegranate that we just put out. Let's give them some scraps. We made broth last night, some bone broth. So we've got some onions, some celery, some carrots, and then underneath that some beets that we had the other night. Oh, and part of a gingerbread house that I guess we're done with. It's the winter months and predators got to eat, so we do something here that we call our tithe to nature. And when we lose a chicken, we just kind of throw her into the forest, and I check on it the next day, and I've never had a situation where she wasn't food for another animal. So it's a bummer to lose, but you got to think of the whole thing, right? So like I said, I've really enjoyed just raising out some rams right now. I'm having a really good time just having 4 young rams. 2 of them were going to be sold as breeding stock, although one of my buyers has backed out, which my wife is actually very happy about, because her ideal scenario is 3 rams in the freezer. Last year we did 2, and you'd be shocked at just how fast we went through them. So they're probably, I'll see how long I want to deal with it, but they're probably about a month out from being processed. So we're going to have 3 of them get processed, and one of them, my neighbor who lives right here, you can't see anything because of the trees. Even in the winter, we have a lot of privacy here. He's got this lot back there that he has been kind of clearing with his tractor, and he wants to give sheep a try, which I think is awesome. So one of these is going to live right next door and hopefully get some ewes. He wants to cross them with some St. Croix or Katahdin ewes, and I love that. I love that idea. So it's going to be really cool to have these guys, 3 of them in the freezer and one of them over there. So while I'm here, let me just talk about what I'm feeding these guys. So it's the winter, so I do give them free choice hay. Usually I like to do alfalfa. Longtime viewers of the channel will know how much I praise alfalfa for winter feeding. But these males are not ewes, and they're not pregnant, so they're not raising a baby. They're just putting on weight, which, don't get me wrong, alfalfa is great to put on weight. But this year it's so darn expensive with the dry weather we've had across the country this summer. So this is just Timothy orchard grass. They do not love it, but I mean, they eat it. It's free choice. They're not going to go hungry. And then I give them, I just wanted to show, these are some pellets that you saw me feed them earlier. These are see if we can get the label here. They're just alfalfa pellets. Just look like this. I like them because it's alfalfa. It's cheap. It's like 20 bucks a bag for 40 pounds. And they eat all of it. I don't know why. I think it's so fun when these young rams play together. Although they're just approaching the age where it can become dangerous. You can see this dude right here. He's not giving me a good... Yeah, there he is. Right there. I missed it. He's missing a horn. And then this guy right here, you can see his scur right here and how he's got one right there. They're fighting right now, so their horns are falling off. What I was saying is with the pellets, I don't give them a whole bunch, and I acclimated them to these pellets in small doses. I have heard from at least 2 people of sheep either dying or becoming close to death when you feed them dry stuff, just because they choke and they just gulp it down and they're just not used to it. So make sure you got water. It's the winter months and I don't have a good water system, so I like a small bucket or a small container, so I fill it up with warm water every day. So make sure they got water nearby so they can wet their mouth. Oh my gosh, look at that. There's the horn. How funny is that? I was just talking about this. Just this little scur. You know what? We don't like the scurs anyway, so good job, guys. Winter months, right? What do we do during the winter months? We plan and we think. Just wanted to talk about where my head is at right now. So you know, I just talked about these, sorry, the sun's back there. These guys, these sheep, they are, you know, in about a month, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, I'm gonna be an empty nester with no sheep. But in the spring, we're trying to figure out what do we want to do, and we kind of have 3 options. And what I've got right here is this is our north pasture. It is definitely a lot more weedy. It gets more sunlight, so that's made me think goats. Goats would be a really good idea. Probably like 6 billies. Raise them out for meat. That's an idea we're floating around. And behind me is our other pasture. Each pasture is, I think, 2 or maybe just over 2 acres. When I've actually mapped it out. So I don't know, we're thinking about cows. I'm also thinking about possibly finishing ram lambs again next year. We just have a lot of options. It's fun to think about. So most of the time I talk about sheep on this channel, but we do a lot more than sheep here. Our garden area, we have kind of 2 sections, and what we're looking at right here is what is our chicken run. We also kind of call it our perennial run. And that's because the vision that we have for it, and what we're doing right now is we're planning out what we want to plant. So right here we've got a row, and we've fenced it away from the chickens so they can't, you know, scratch at these young starts. But we have a blueberry, a fig, a blueberry, and another fig. 2 things that are pretty darn reliable in the Piedmont region of North Carolina. So really looking forward to this just being a true perennial run. I see a lot of fruits like that. We'd also like to do pawpaw. Obviously blueberries do well here. Sunchokes. I am so excited to be doing sunchokes here. We have in the back corner like kind of a compost creation system where we dump all of our food scraps. We have this rich clover. They love to munch on clover, high in protein. Hey girls, where are the eggs? I don't like to put lamps on chickens, and I won't do it, but I would appreciate some more eggs, please. I've been using this time to really plan out what we want to be doing here. We're going to kind of have 4 sections of what we're calling the annual run. So we have the perennial run with the chickens, and then I'm standing in the annual run, and we've planning out our 4 sections of it. Section number 1 looks like a mess right now, but I'm really trying to create a spot where we can just enjoy time as a family out here. I don't want the homestead to only feel like work. So we're just making this place, we're using a lot of Christmas boxes to, you know, put down some cardboard and put down some mulch on top. We'll move this bench over there, get a fire pit, and really just turn this into just a great hangout place. And then we've got right here our raised planter beds. We want to do 8 of these. The benefit of having them so tall is it's easier for us to garden in them. We're going to be building more of these raised planter beds and basically just get 2 rows of 4. This section number 3 right here, I don't have anything staked out. We're thinking a greenhouse and a water catch system and composting bins. Wouldn't that be great? And then over here, this is kind of where, you know, if we ever need to get in here with a truck, which to put those wood chips in, I definitely need to get in here with a truck. We keep it obviously free most of the year, but we're going to use this for our taller vegetables. So where I am right now, all the way down to that side, kind of this straight area. I'll walk backwards as I'm talking about it. We're gonna be putting okra, corn, things that grow tall, really. So this is just gonna be so cool. So winter is here, and it's still not my favorite time of the year, but I'm using it as a time to reflect, to plan, and just relax. Just use the time to get excited about next year. So winter is supposed to be downtime, but we're just spending a lot of our homesteading time walking, putting flags in the ground, getting the sheep ready for processing, planting the garden, getting the materials for the box, planting the greenhouse, a lot of measuring. So still, I don't know, it's been a really fun time to kind of just honor what winter's supposed to be for a homestead. So last year I made a video at around this time of the year where I talked about the mindset of homesteading as you go into the new year. I'm going to post it up here. I just rewatched it. I had a good time just refreshing myself on, it's kind of like the why and the purpose of homesteading. If you need some fire under you like I did a week ago, give that one a watch. Thanks for watching this video. I'm PJ with the High Mountain Homestead. I'll see you on the next one.